actually like makes stock motion video. They're properly told narratives.
What do you mean?
I think that's the name of the channel. What do you mean with an exclamation point and a question mark?
The next question, which is, what do you mean?
You will learn something new in this channel.
Well, friends have identified him as 17-year-old Elijah Alamin and say he did not deserve to die. According to police, the suspect brutally stabbed him to death just 48 hours after getting out of jail on another violent crime. The suspect's attorney says the mental health system is broken.
You're going to the store, then your son just doesn't come home.
Friends say 17-year-old Elijah Alamin had big plans to own his own business one day. But on 4th of July, police say Elijah was at the soda machine inside this Circle K when 27-year-old Michael Adams came up behind him and slit his throat.
What do you mean killed over rap music? The rest of that goes on to say he had mental health issues and he was released 2 days ago and he finds rap music a threat to him and his community. Alright, okay. Now, if a white kid was listening to rap music, would he have copped the same thing? That is my question. I was going to start this video in another way, but I just found this as I was starting to record and it's just, how could you fucking not? On to another Elijah that's been failed by various systems. This is kind of like a sequel to the first proper What Do You Mean video I ever did, a list of racist institutions in Australia. I tell the whole story on how I came to the conclusion that I did. And it's a very important video to me, so I do recommend go check it out. And another important video which is relevant to this topic is the one I did on prisons, another one I'm proud of, and I cover a lot of the issues that are to do with race, and I go back through the history and do a little explanation into why things are the way they are, and a little bit more on the arrest of people of colour. I'm pretty sure I had a conversation when I was a guest on Ghetto News Network, shout out, about a Aboriginal woman that died in custody, which is insanely sad, also considering that's the same way her father died, like 20 years to the day before that. Tragic. And with that, I mentioned Ghetto News Network. I will be seeking more insight on an issue, as you could probably tell from the hands that have done the drawing. I am pretty white, so I'm going to get more information on this topic from someone who's walked in the shoes. And very grateful. Thank you. Gangster Left for life. Here's some freakishly messed up statistics for Australian prison populations. The rate of people being incarcerated that are non-Indigenous are 146 in 100,000. The Indigenous incarceration rate is 2,253 out of 100,000. Take this with the context of the Indigenous people make up 3.3% of Australia's population. So that's 3,300 out of 100,000. Let that sink in. Alright, and I've got two clips that I always think of whenever racism and how it's just built into the system. And these two pieces of footage show how bad it is in America and why movements like Black Lives Matter are essential.
Of Tamir Rice's family. It shows the 12-year-old on a Cleveland playground holding what appears to be a weapon. Police roll up, confronting Tamir. It takes just seconds. The passenger door opens wider. An officer fires, striking the boy, who later died.
Shots fired. Male down. Black male. Maybe 20. Black revolver, black handgun.
But Tamir's gun, you can see it here, turned out to be an airsoft pistol that shoots soft pellets, not bullets.
There was a guy there with a pistol, it's probably fake, but he's like pointing it at everybody.
That 911 caller noting 3 times in the call the gun could be a fake, but dispatch apparently didn't relay that to the responding officers.
He keeps pulling a gun out of his pants and pointing it at people.
So a 12-year-old boy just playing with a gun, and they just come up, blat, that's it. No, it's all over. And then the rest of that news clip goes on to have the police go have a reporter show a similar toy gun to a cop going, does this look like the real deal? And the cop's like, yeah, it does. Like, what? And this is how they go and take down a guy known. They knew he killed a bunch of people. He had a real gun. He went into a church and opened fire on a bunch of innocent people. And they just calmly get him. Apparently he even got Burger King out and you looking through the clips to find one for this, it's just like how they kept saying suspect of shooting. What do you mean suspect? You fucking know he did it. There's camera footage. He confessed. I think at no stage was he a suspect. He was the perpetrator, the shooter, the murderer, the killer, the guy who did it. Suspect my ass. Like, even just to go on to other stories where they had like just all these white boys who rape somebody and they just from a good family and they get let go, and there's one black girl kills the guy who was raping her or something and she's in jail for life. Or the black woman who was shot in the stomach in Alabama and she lost her baby which she wanted to keep. I think after 8 months it's like, yeah, she's gonna be a mum. She's locked into this. Oh, no, abortion. Lock her up. That's some traumatizing, fucked up shit. Shouldn't happen to anybody. And they're just treating the law like it's another weird, twisted torture device. Okay, here's another clip. And more on the media, Australian media. I was shocked with this whole African gang thing. I'm like, they're just full going in. They don't care what they get called and how it may look for the demographic they're going and after and attacking. But they went for it. Like, when I even have usually boomers say some dumb shit to me on the lines of this because of what Channel 7 or 9 said to them, and we're in Adelaide where this is supposedly happening in Melbourne or something, but they're still concerned over here, my go-to response is always, well, shit, you do know that 400,000 people have died in Sudan in the past recent years. I would probably get the fuck out of Dodge too if that shit was going down. Australia seems pretty nice and good choice, isn't it? 400,000 from violence, disease, famine, but Channel 9, 7, 10, even the other ones, ABC, SBS, the 5 p.m. news doesn't tell you about that, do they? And I say this a heap of times, but I do go back and forth with the Australia, stop trying to be little America, just stop it. Like, if your friend was going to jump off a cliff, would you do it too? Sort of thing. But then you kind of realize it's like, we were locking up kids in cages long before the United States of America were getting attention for it. And we've had sports bring out and rear the ugly head of racism and really make the conversation expose some people and what they really think just from good old hearty footy. Because they were booing Adam Goodes long before anybody was kneeling for the American anthem. Alright, I'll wrap up my final little thoughts on this, because there's only so much you can say as ultimately just an ally, really. But thanks for listening. Like, subscribe, go watch some old videos. I try to keep them all relevant but all useful for any point of time. And shout out to my patrons for shouting me these new art supplies. And thanks, Mum. Bye. Can I keep me?